Hey, it's Jonathan Toshnik. The question is, what is the blueprint for getting and making a 50% net profit margin on my lawn care business? So, net profit to me, to make sure we're on the same page here, means that's the amount of money you're taking home or potentially could take home. Maybe you're not taking it home, maybe you're reinvesting it in your business, but it's the profit left over at the end of the year that you could either put in your pocket and go out and blow it, spend it, put it in your bank account, save it, or turn around, pay down debt in your company, or reinvest. That's net profit margin. So 50% net profit margin in any business is really good. It's like almost unheard of. It's that good. So my guess is maybe the reason you're asking this question is because you read about one of my businesses where we are making net profit of 50%, which was in the lawn care business. So is that real? Is it possible? And the answer is yes. We did it for a number of years. We had a business that generated 50% net profit, and it sounds ridiculous to anybody that's been in business for any period of time. They would say that's insane and it's not true, but we actually did it. So I can't give you the whole blueprint, but I'll tell you some factors that went into that will be pretty revealing, and I think that I think it's a valuable lesson. So, to answer your question, the way we did this is to get to a 50% net margin. We first had a business that had a horrible net profit margin. So I first had a lawn care company. It was the first one I started, and I had a number of crews, and we were doing in the hundreds of thousands. I don't remember the exact number, and I think we had 3 crews. We had a number of employees. We had quite a few clients. They were predominantly commercial, and that is critical in this, I do believe. We had several trucks, and we had a bunch of equipment, and everything was paid for. And what happened is we were not making much profit. It wasn't a very good business. We were making enough profit that I basically could have been a spray tech and made the same amount of money. Now, at the time, I also had another business. I actually had 2 other companies, and so this wasn't a full-time thing for me. It was something being done on the side, and I didn't really know the lawn care business very well, and so there was plenty of mistakes being made, and it resulted in a low profit margin. One day, we got really wise. I had other businesses. I was making a lot more money. Wasn't, just than what I was making in this business, and the business was it was annoying. It was to the point where, look, it's not enough money to even mess with this. I'd either want to shut it down or fix it. And so what I did is I went through and I looked at who are the very, very best clients. I'm telling you all this because this is the roadmap. So the way you would have a 50% net profit margin business is you've got a business that is debt-free, that you do not have a marketing budget for, and it doesn't require much reinvestment. So that's the only way this is possible. What you've done is you've already built another business. To get to 50%, you build something. This is my belief. You build something, and then you make it better. Or you very slowly and strategically build it with very demanding requirements of the clients that you take on. So again, the blueprint basically for us was we built this unprofitable or profitable but mildly profitable business. We then looked at the clients, looked at the employees, looked at the trucks, the equipment, looked at everything in the business, and we said, what would happen if we got rid of this? What would we want to keep that would give us an easy business? And what would we get rid of that would eliminate pain? We did that for the employees and the clients. We kept all the clients that were easy, that generated high profit margins, that were close together, that didn't require much driving. So what that left us with was a bunch of commercial clients of 2 types. On a couple days of the week, they were commercial clients where we did, I want to say about 14 to 18 jobs a day with a 3-man crew, and they were, literally right by each other. Those 18 jobs were probably on 5 streets in an industrial park. Then the other 3 days, so we worked 6 days a week to do this. So the other 4 days, that was 2 days a week, and the other 4 days a week were larger properties where we did 2 to 3 properties a day. So the trucks weren't moving much. Very critical. Maximum efficiency. Very little driving involved. Okay? So we figured out who were the best clients. That was one aspect of the best clients. The best clients also paid us a good rate, not crazy numbers, but they paid us a very fair rate. They also didn't call us very often. They didn't give us much trouble. There was plenty of things to sell back to them. And so they made for good clients. So to get the 50% net margin, we went to a smaller client base with bigger properties or properties very close together. We then did the same with the employees. We said, who are the best employees? Who can self-manage? Who's highly productive? Who cares about their job? And we picked the 3 best. So we went from maybe 12 or 14 employees down to 3. And we had the 3 best. I mean, really the 3 best. The guy, in fact, Elder, our foreman, he would take his truck to get it maintained. We let him take the truck home. He'd take the truck to get it maintained. He would take the truck to, if an alternator broke, he could fix it. He would take the equipment to get serviced. I gave him a credit card. And so I got down to 1 crew in this example. Now, this could have been done with multiple crews, but in the example I gave that you're referring to, we did it with 1 crew. So again, we optimized the business down to 3 employees. We optimized it down to the best clients. Our equipment was all paid for. That's really important. Everything was paid for. We got rid of a truck. We kept 1 good truck and 1 cheap backup truck. We kept our best equipment. So we didn't have to reinvest in equipment year after year. We didn't sell the equipment. We just kept the equipment, and it had enough life in it that we got a lot of utilization out of it. We didn't have a marketing budget. We weren't growing the business. We didn't have an office. We didn't have an office staff. We didn't have any of that stuff. We had a computer system and an accounting package. We had I think Vonage, like a 1 phone line. I mean, we literally chopped everything down to a very easy to run business. And that business resulted in a 6-figure income in virtually no time on my part to run it. And we ran it that way for years. And ultimately that business folded into what is now my new company, or the company I've had for several years now. And so it just kind of folded in and went away. But we ran that business just like that for years. Now, the roadmap is exactly what I just disclosed. It's hard. To have that kind of profit margin, several things took place. Our equipment was paid for. We didn't have a marketing budget. I didn't have an office. I didn't have any management staff. I had 1 employee that could run a crew that generated several $100,000 a year with just 3 individuals working 6 days a week. And I could rely on those individuals. And if one of the workers didn't show up or there was a problem, my foreman handled it. I didn't have to be involved. The only way I could have got there was by having had a pool of clients and a pool of employees to pick from to get the very best. Now, I couldn't have replicated this had I been wanting to aggressively grow, because that would have meant I needed a marketing budget. It would have meant that I needed to hire somebody to help me manage this. It would have meant that I needed to do so many things to grow the company that would have eroded the profit margins. So this was a very unique situation. But if you're trying to create an easy business, if you're trying to create a stream of income and your goal isn't to build something big, now this what you have is not a real business. You might, because someday something's going to happen. Some number of those clients are going to go away and you're going to have to replace them. But there are plenty of guys in different industries that are running little businesses like this. And they have these really profitable little businesses that work because they're little businesses. If they wanted to take them to the next level, everything about it would fall apart. That was the scenario here. So I do not advertise that you can run a $2 million a year business and walk away with $1 million. Not in the lawn care business. In some other industries, that might very well be possible, but not in the lawn care business, because it's a whole different dynamic and there's a lot that goes into that. But when you keep it small and you're very strategic about the clients you take, they meet a certain profit margin and they're in a certain locale and all those other factors line up, then these types of things become possible. So